Hello and welcome to the Vmoney show. We live every Tuesday. My host, Autumn. Shout out to Autumn. Rita, homegirl Rita. My man DK Pimp D. And my boy Monimo and CEO Larry Josh. On this episode, we got special guest Abbas Kamara. We got Kiara and her friend. They're the special guests. And my boy Josh, Swaggy Josh in the building. Basically, the show on this episode we're gonna talk about culture difference in relationship and issue we faces every day. We also talk about do African American consider themselves African, and do African prefer to be called blacks or just African? Thank you.
See you.
I can't go. You gotta introduce yourself again.
Hello, we just joining on Facebook. This is Vmoney show, and tonight we got a lot of guests in the building. But first, I'm gonna go around to my man to introduce himself. Go.
Again, my name is Abbas.
David the Fourth, aka Perry on Soul.
You add something extra.
Right.
That's my name. That's my name.
Thank you, Autumn, for telling everybody my name is Mo. But yeah, that Bo Mo, you already know. Take it home.
It's Rita.
You already know it's Paul K, aka Five, aka NWF niggas with money, aka Old Gang with money, aka you already know it's Vmoney show, CEO for whatever we out here.
You already know. Do this
Well, I'm George, originally.
AKA.
Young Pooski. Wanna stay young, but old in mind.
Preach.
It's odd.
Just call your name.
No, I look a mess.
It's okay.
I look a mess though. But people are gonna say I look a mess.
It's fine. This guy.
Alright,
Everybody just got out of school.
alright, I'm Tiara. I just got out of class.
Aaliyah, aka Leah Lace.
I'm gonna say I want you more.
DK, aka Mr. Turner. Let's get this shit poppin'.
That's DK, aka Mr. Turn Up. And I got my man.
Oh, right there.
Before you introduce yourself, I'm gonna introduce you as the CEO of the Co-Water Boy, aka second male of the year. But I've been getting the back to introduce yourself. You doing something?
You good? You already did. So.
No, just go ahead.
That's a seal right.
You all day. Money making more.
That's what he
That's
know.
one of the Alright, for this session, we're gonna focus on, like we were, like I posted on Facebook today. So, does being Black American, does Black American consider themselves African?
Oh, good one.
That's a good question. That's why we got a lot of.
All
I'm
the kids,
African. I'm African. Like
they got something to say. She look like you got something to
That's
say.
why I was quiet this whole time. No, I don't want to go first. Y'all go first. I'm gonna be last.
It's good water. That's water. You good.
Y'all gonna be last.
so, if you just join on Facebook, you can send your comment. It's a deep topic. A lot of people get stuff confused.
No side conversation.
No side conversation.
It's a deep, we face this issue every day, A lot of people get it confused, so we're gonna go around, and see does being African kind of, if a lot of time we African, we when we fill out job application, we put our application like African American, but really we African. And some Black American don't consider themselves to be African. So if you Black American, are you African?
First off, I like to say if your skin is black, if your skin is black, off the rip, and you don't call yourself African, you're uneducated. Straight from the rip. That's how I look at it. You're completely uneducated.
That's your point of view.
That's just my point of view. You're completely uneducated.
That's his point of view, and we're gonna respect that. I also got a comment from a friend today. He said he's not considered African because he was born in America, so he considers himself African, and I respect his view.
He's African.
But what is he? Is he African or is he?
No, he was born here.
Is he African?
No, he don't got no
African.
African.
He said not
No,
African.
okay.
Why he calls the African American? Why the African?
Just pass my gas.
Pretty much, what's the difference between African and
We skipping here.
No, I'm trying to go last, so somebody go first.
She gonna kill it. She been.
You did your research, didn't you?
Oh, I ain't had to do research. Research I did, I already knew. All right, I'm gonna be ready.
Woo!
Well, naturally and gradually,
Woo!
I'm African because I'm both parents. I mean, dad from Jamaica, you already know. Mom from Africa, but I'm African because I was born in Africa. So I cannot say, oh, I'm Jamaican. I'm going to be native African.
Hello. I am African American. I'm also Polish and Indian, but I don't consider myself African because America, like African Americans, there's the difference between African Americans and Africans is that we got raped by the white people. Yeah. So that's what makes us different. That makes us different between you guys and us. You guys are full African. We have other stuff in us.
Yeah, that was a good point. That was a good point. I know African American is like my heritage, and I fill that out when I'm doing a job application and stuff. But I don't consider myself like, if someone's like, "Are you African?" No, because like my parents weren't born in Africa. Like my relatives were not born in Africa. You'd have to go far back in like my family tree, like far back, for me to find out if I have any like African. So I would just, when people ask, I'm like, I'm black. Do you know what I mean? And I've been told by an African that we're different. So because we don't practice the same cultures and all that, we eat different food. So I mean, that's just like saying like you can't say like Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and all that are the same, because they're not. They all speak the same language and all that, but their culture and stuff is different. They're Latinos and Latinas, but they're not the same. So.
Take it off of me.
Are you going, Leah? Who's next?
You gotta talk, man. You on the show.
I gotta talk?
You gotta
Come
talk,
on the show,
yeah.
you gotta talk.
You drinking the wine, you gotta talk.
Since I have to talk,
Moses, you?
I'm going to say I'm not African, but I do consider myself African American because somewhere down along the line we came from Africa. I just wasn't born there.
They just said, George, you're African.
I just said it.
Good fuck the Jamaican folk.
Alright, we got a comment from Facebook. Abazi, you want to read it?
George Deja said, George, you're African. And on another note, she said, fuck the Jamaican part.
So, technically, she said, you're not Jamaican, you African. You should be proud to be African.
I got wine in my hand.
First of all,
That's his stepsister.
that's why you don't get people like used to you, like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't get people too attached to you and stuff, like, especially if you aren't even like a black American at all. Nobody know who you are and stuff. Like, I'ma just say it like this, right? I wanna go in cause like she just like a family friends and stuff, like, and I know how to be a Puerto Rican girl and stuff. So I really don't judge her culture, but really, when I was explaining myself, I said like, dad is a Jamaican, mom is an African, and I was born in Africa, so I look at myself to be an African. Though dad from Jamaica, but I'm not looking like, people might say I got the accent, but I don't have the accent. That's what I think. So I look at myself to be African. It's nothing for her to say this or that and stuff, or I don't want to go all on like that. That's what you don't know. Like, we met in America, and we make you to be like I know, family, friends and stuff, like, yeah, you know, that you will make you like attached to the family and stuff, like know everything. So I'm not gonna go on that. But anyway, I'm gonna pass the mic on. Nothing to say.
Thank you, my DJ. One more time, DJ. Yes, right. All right, now we're gonna go to our pass, you know. Like that.
To say that I think that option of African American should definitely be taken out, like the employment. It should just either be Black American and then African. Because to be honest, when we came here, when I came here, there was so much oppression from Black Americans. Not being that, because our skin tone was different or was the same, but it's because I'm from another country and I'm African, and from what we was taught and what they was taught in school about African being brought over here, being slave and whatnot, they took that as okay, at least if the white guy one up on us, then we can have one up on them.
Right.
So they feel like they have to be superior to us and like call us names and treat us a different type of way, which wasn't the case. We both have the same skin tone. If you look, I think some of these Black Americans are fucking stupid. I'm dead ass. Some of these fucking Black Americans are fucking stupid because I don't think they really pay attention to history class or even like literature or anything that's being taught to them. You just feel like, huh? They just feel like, you just feel like you gotta go by the trend. It's pretty much because back in the day, like back in 2000, because I came here in 2000, I think I was like 6 or 5. I used to be called, African booty scratcher. People didn't want to sit with me because I'm from Africa. This, that, and the third. Okay, I'm like, okay. And then I would go in history class. I'm like, okay, we have the same skin tone, right? Our people was oppressed by the white. Our people was slave. Why am I getting treated different than a normal person? There should be no difference. I should be, for anything, you should be the one, loving me for who I am than them. But I seem to get more, appreciation and more love from the white people than I did from my own kind. That's why, when I look at it, I'm like, you know what? Fuck the Black Americans. You're not African. That's why they need to take that shit out there, the employment shit. You're Black American. You're not African. You know what I'm saying? Because if you was African, you will understand your heritage, your roots, and, what your ancestor went through. You know what I'm saying? It's not that, because you feel like it's a trend and, you want to bully somebody, this, that, and the third. No. I think as an African, we have more of a moral and a standard. Black American, yeah, your grandparents might have the morals and might have the standard, but as you grow up, you decide, to follow the trend rather than, to follow the belief you was brought up with. As for me, I was brought up with a very strong moral. Speak up for those who can speak up for themselves. The Black Americans don't see it that way. When I came, like I told you earlier in the show, when I came, and I still am, I'm nonchalant, I'm shy until I get to know people. I would not talk. So being shy and being nonchalant, I let everything breeze by. It's very rare for you to see me angry. Very rare for me to see you angry. So when people see me as that type of person, they feel like, you can pick on this guy or you can pick on this guy. That's what any African, if I can speak for them. When we first came here, we didn't quite understand the culture rather than did we understand the people or the living habits. So we, you know what I'm saying? So we was more quiet and laid back in the classroom, so we didn't really speak that at all. So yeah, so then we was looked at, okay, they're weird, they're different, they don't speak. And being that our culture cook differently, and because we're African when their parents are cooking, you don't want to leave your room door open, you don't want to leave anything open. Because thank you. And like the food scent is very strong. It's like cologne. So once it sticks on you, for like a good two or 3 days. Yo. So when we go to school, it's not like we're bathing in fish and we're in the bathing and all that. Cause we, you know what I'm saying? So they calling it, oh, this smell like fish, oh, this smell like this. No, it's not our fault. It's what we cook at. Yeah, it's what we cook at home and what we eat. You know what I'm saying? So,
like you said, I did get more love.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the white love this more than the blacks.
They do.
I don't know. And then again, the blacks are lazy. I'm gonna say that you guys are lazy.
Yeah, boys, not girls.
Not the. I don't know about the girls, but I know for the boys, they are fucking lazy. So, alright, so with the Mexican getting jobs, you're blaming the Mexican. Oh, they're Mexican, so that's why they're always taking all the dirty jobs. No, they're Mexicans and they're hungry. They know the struggle of making it in America. They know how it feels to be a new person in a new land with having nobody to lean on but yourself. So the job that comes and the opportunity that comes your way, you have to take it and work hard at it. So when they see the Mexican moving up in the world, they want to bring them down. When they see the African moving up in the world, they want to bring them down. Take this for example. I was working at a grocery store. This is legit. It really happened to me. I was working Amelia's. Y'all know Amelia's. I was working there.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity of becoming a supervisor. Well, being that I was African, and I was moving up in the world amongst a black American community, mainly like the people who worked there was black American. And being that I was moving up over them, they didn't like the fact, oh, he's African, why they gonna let the African do this? So I was set up. You know what I'm saying? People would because at the end of the night, I would close the store down, so I had to count the register and do all of that. People wasn't coming to their full amount. So at the end of the day, who did it blame? No, the closer. The new person, meaning the new face in the new land. Being I was new to the store and I was African, so I was pretty much a new face in the new land. So they blamed me. So they let me go. But but then they found out the truth later on that the person who was stealing was the manager. You see that? And the manager who was black American. So to say that when they have it on the employment sheet saying black African American, no, that's I think that's unfair to us. We deserve our own slot. I really think so. So
that's why they got the other that put your race in there, yo.
I mean, like the part you was talking about as far as like the name calling from school and all that. I mean, I feel like because I felt the same way how he felt because most of us who came here, we all was in the same situation. You feel me? I was like, yo, why these? Especially when I look at another kid, I'm like, yo, like we the same color. Like why he, why he adding on to the, why he adding on to the fire? But then I understood that what the teachers were showing these kids, because once I sat in class, the teacher popped in the DVD and it showed our home, but it only showed the negative part. So I thought to myself, I'm like,
that's why you from the city,
right,
man.
I'm like, you know what? I can't blame these kids. This is what they're showing them. But also, I'm not gonna give them kids their excuse because they could also learn from their parents. Because the parents gonna tell them, oh, even though you're born here, you're American, your roots goes back to Africa. That's why that's the only reason why I blame the African American, because the kids, they don't take the time to ask their parents and to learn about it. They just want to go with the flow. Oh, you're African this, you're African this. Well, it makes no sense. If you really sit down and talk to your parents, they're gonna tell you. You feel me? So, but that was just my whole part. Them being just ignorant and not
So who fault is that?
He blamed the parents.
No, it's not. You can't blame it.
This is what I said, Mo. This is what I said, Mo.
What you learn from your mom and dad.
Mo, this is what I said, Mo. I said it started with the teachers.
Right.
While I was sitting in class, the teacher popped in the DVD and it showed a part of Africa, but only showed like the jungle or the kids without shoes and all that.
Oh, yeah.
So, right. So once I saw it, I was like, oh shoot. So this is where these kids are getting their things from. But also, I can't give that as an excuse. Oh, even though they're feeding them poison, they could also go home.
I don't see that as poison. You might see it. Being that they show the poverty side of Africa, that's not saying, oh, that's all of Africa. They never said that's all of Africa.
But that's all they show.
No. Let me get to what I'm saying. They're not saying that's all of Africa. You as a person, you have your own mind and your own intuition to go and learn outside of
learn. That's why I said.
But that's what I'm saying. So you can't blame the teacher. They're showing. Okay, we all have to do. I know from geography class, I had to do like a study on a country. Show the literacy level, the life expectancy, the population, all of that. Yeah. And the first thing I learned from most of these third world country or third income country is poverty. They're showing you that poverty do exist. From my view, I was being, when they show it, like, okay, you're here, take the best of the opportunity. Because you see them kids over there, you see them kids on that side. These third world countries, these kids barely have food, barely have clothes. barely have the opportunity, neither barely have the life chances that you have. So take the best of it. Right. So there, it was their, not the teacher. The teacher did nothing wrong. The kids that was in the classroom, their own ignorance.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't take. That's why I say I wasn't gonna give them.
So that's why I came back to the question.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's the kids, but the fact.
Parents.
How will you say it's the kids?
Hold it down. Hey,
no. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It falls back on the kids because even though the teacher is showing them a side of Africa that they only see, so they're gonna bring it back to us. It's up to them to go home and say, "Hey, mom or dad, I saw this on TV. The teacher said so. Is this how really Africa is?" And then the parents who have more knowledge, they'll be like, "Oh no, son, this not this. Actually, I can actually show you a pretty side Africa. They actually have shoes. They actually got this. This you just can't have that once in a month."
But how do you think that people's parents know about Africa too? My mom never been to Africa. Do you know what I'm saying? So like when I go, and you gotta remember, I'm almost like you guys are kind of young. I don't know how old you are, but I'm almost 30, right? And we didn't have all this Instagram and all that. We had the internet, but it wasn't like that. We could just pop it up right now while you're in class. So for you to be like, oh, they need to find education. We listened in school and we got taught stuff, but that's what we were taught. Do you understand what I'm saying? It wasn't like, and then you go home and ask your mom, she's gonna tell you what she knows. Like, okay, but like honestly, until I like met like African people I went to school with, I didn't know that either. I didn't know there was cities and you guys had McDonald's and all that either, because that's not what they showed us. When you go home on TV, just like the kids, everybody say the kids are fresh, now the kids doing this and that, because sex is everywhere. You get what I'm saying? So every picture that we had of Africa was not a good one. It wasn't like I'm not speaking for everybody because there is ignorant people, but from my point of view, we were never shown no like positive things, even learning outside of there. You know what I'm saying? They don't even teach the kids. Is my mic still on? They don't even teach the kids a lot of stuff now for even Black History Month. Period. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's stuff that I don't even know.
So it's an education system.
Like and then like you want people to ask their parents, but my mom's not really that old, so how would she really know? Do you know what I mean? Like, so she gonna teach you, but she gonna say, yeah, that can't all the way be true, and that's for any country, you know. Any country, the Spanish, the Indians, all that. I just learned stuff about the Indians and how the whites gave them smallpox. And I'm in college, you understand what I mean? So you can't say like they're ignorant and all that, and I don't agree with that we're like lazy and all that either. And I personally don't think that, I don't know if you guys were treated wrong, but I never treated anybody like that. And it also is a different, just like you said, you feel like it should be two different race things. We get that from you guys too, where y'all are different than us. We're different. I've been told that a lot of times.
That is true.
A lot of times.
That is true.
I've had a lot of issues when I come to African parties. Every time I come, and I come with friends. Not you, but other people though.
Yeah, that's
it's a lot of times, especially the females. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Yeah, a lot of times. Every time I come.
But you know we love you.
Yeah, y'all fine, but I'm saying it be people I don't know, but still, do you know what I mean? And I mean, like, our history, I had like a minorities class, and like, the teacher was talking about like German's history, this person's history, but it was hard to talk about Black history because we're so spread apart from like slavery and all that a lot of Black people, we had to make up our own traditions. Right. You know what I mean? So it's not like we're being like, oh, but we're so lost from all that stuff that happened that we don't know a lot of y'all culture.
All right, today George and I George was watching the Holocaust, right? And he came over to me. He was like, "Is this how?" Because I think he's just now learning. Because and for those of you who know George, he hasn't been here for that long, but he's pretty good with his resources. So he came to ask me, say, "Is that how Hitler really was?" I'm like, "Not this, just Hitler." Genocide date all the way back into the Bible.
Yeah.
And before Hitler came to power, came to do what he did, or the Armenian genocide, all that genocide, there was a genocide of a whole African country that was never covered in the history book. Exactly. It was covered, but guess what it was covered under? Colonization.
Right. Saying
that, oh, we came to spread Christianity, we came to spread civilization. Never, oh, we came to look for ivory and came to steal their country riches and kill off their people. If you ever heard about King Leopold, you ever heard about him?
I've had briefly.
Have anybody ever read the book Heart of Darkness?
No, I read magazines.
that was the first record. I mean, the Bible record genocide, but nobody would consider what that Bible did a genocide. Right.
Yeah.
That was the first genocide that happened. That was documented by, modern people. That was documented. But guess what? They covered it.
Right.
Because what? We're black. The skin tone is black. When it happened to the Jewish and the Armenians, where was it? All over the news.
Can I just tell you this? I had a class in middle school, and all we covered was every time, it was like a reading class, all we ever talked about was the Holocaust. We talked about the Holocaust during Black History Month, and I said, excuse me, isn't this Black History Month, to the teacher? And I got in trouble. I was like, because we keep talking about the Holocaust, I understand that, but like, this is Black History Month. Can why people say something? There's a lot of stuff they don't want you to know. Just like the Black Panthers, they say all this bad stuff, but nobody knows they're the reason why we have breakfast. There's breakfast in schools is because of the Black Panthers, because they're giving out breakfast to the kids.
You ever heard the phrase, "the rich write history"?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Exactly. And they're not going to. They're going to tell you the Black Panthers went to college. Right. They're scholars. All they're not going to tell you that.
Doctor, personally, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I understand that. From what I'm understanding is that y'all think that we should have African American and then Black Americans. I personally don't want to be called Black. I don't want to be like the color of my skin. I don't want to be called a color. So if y'all feel like that, I think it should be not Black African, and we have to figure out a different word, because right now you're saying Black, we're definitely still looking at the color of my skin.
The reason why I said that,
I'm not even Black, I'm brown.
The reason why I said the reason why I said that Black should be called Black American and African should be called African. It's from the oppression that we gotten that since we've been here. We've never been treated as equal.
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from and why you think, and I'm okay with us like that divide. I mean, we don't have to have a divide. Like, obviously we all came from some Africa, like our ancestors. Like when it comes down to it, like we all
they're part of us.
Yeah, like I'm okay with being called African American.
I'm not saying we're not, but are we treated like? Not now, but were we treated like?
I mean,
no. But and y'all understand where y'all coming to, but we have our own prejudices. I mean, as y'all have y'all have your part too.
Let me tell you, the reason.
But when it comes down to it, why you mean like we're all Black? Like we're all.
She said
this one he's trying to say. He's trying to say when we first came here, the first people
that showed love to us,
that should have showed love to us, was the people who, when we looked, we was like, at least they kind of look like us. But we never got that.
Yeah,
we got that from.
I understand where y'all coming from.
Right.
I definitely
and
do.
For
y'all came here and y'all, this gonna sound completely different. I'm now going by regions and everything. Right. Y'all felt like y'all didn't get love from Black people. This is my knowledge too. Right. Y'all went to mostly white school.
No, I went to public school.
He went to Colesville.
I went to
downtown, so we got the free pass.
So you got mostly white school.
West school.
Mostly white school. When you come, like I came here 8 years. I came here in high school. When I moved out here, Westchester, to mostly white school, the few Black people that were in it did not show me love either, because they were around white people all the time. I'm not gonna say for anybody that was born
I experienced the same. I experienced the same.
I always see it like this: Black people who grow up around white people become kind of bougie type. In school, it was literally only 4 of us Black that graduated. Out of those 4 people that my grade that I graduated with, only 1 person showed love like that. The other girl, I would try to talk to her, everything. She was like real bougie, something like that, because she was around white people all the time. So I know what y'all talking about, how y'all don't feel like y'all didn't get love from Black people because they were born around white people. That's why. If you came in Philly, where I lived, I went to majority Black school. Anybody who came around, even the white boy, one white girl that came to our school, we still showed them love even though they was different than us. I'm like, y'all was not born, if y'all came to Philly and y'all came in Philly with mostly Black people. Coastville, I guess they have more Black people there. If you came 50, around those Black people, they would still show you love too, because they weren't majority white around white people.
That's what I'm saying. We can
Tisha, we love you too.
Younger kids don't know the difference. They will still talk about, oh, your skin's different. My nephew still tell me he light skinned. He thinks he's white because he's light skinned. He's very light. No, he's black. He just thinks that because he's been around white people. I'm like, he's not going to show the same love. I'm like, kids always going to be prejudiced, whatever. It's up to the parents to do the difference. Like, you not this. You supposed to treat everybody equally.
Now, what about those who are our age? I'm being completely honest with you. There's people our age or even older.
There's still older people that
have
still
the resources to do their own research.
Okay, there are prejudiced people, but not all people are prejudiced. Like, all white people are prejudiced. I mean, look at Donald Trump. Like, he's an asshole. He's prejudiced. Yeah. He's old as hell. But like, not all white people are racist.
People are more prejudiced than us.
Yeah, it's just like what you're brought up on. Like, it is your parents, because you're not born racist. Like, you're taught that. Like the KKK, you're taught that stuff. Like, it's not just older people or younger
going to be
people.
more prejudiced. As we knock down the age, it will get less and less and less. Us, we are less prejudiced than our parents. We moved out here. My mom, she's still prejudiced to the white people. She think everything is all, a quota. Like, when I tried to get my first job, I did not get hired. She thought it was a quota. They had to hire me because I was the only black person, just so they meet that quota.
Wow.
It is true. They meet that. It's true. It took me 2 times.
I'm going to upload episode 2 sometime this week. Thank you for watching. And keep following us on Facebook Live and YouTube, every week or every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Once again, thanks for watching. On behalf of me and the cast or the host of the Vmoney Show, thank you for watching. We appreciate everything. Thanks for your love. Thanks for your comment. We appreciate it. Thank you.